What is going on, everybody? Mountain here, bringing you guys a brand spanking new series. Actually, it's not new. I take that back. This is me bringing back my good old-fashioned Topic Tuesday. For those of you who don't know, we used to do this series called Topic Tuesday years ago. I talked about a little bit of everything, but this time we're gonna do it a little different. I've got a lot of life experience. I'm 27, almost 20. I'll be 28 in April, and I've got a lot of life experience. So that being said, we are going to bring back Topic Tuesday. First topic of the day, we're going to throw it up on the screen here, is my man Sowers. And he says, taxes, budgeting, what to look for when buying / renting a house, good first cars to get when you're young that are cheap and affordable, good ways to look for a job. So Sowers, first of all, thank you for the question. I appreciate it. Chat, feel free. I'm saying chat. I'm so used to streaming. I'm saying chat. Jesus. Anyways, feel free to drop my man Sowers a follow. He's a great dude. So, let's talk about it real quick. Let's talk about it. So we got. Let's see. How do I want to go about this? So here's where I'm torn. The first episode, okay. I think the first episode we're gonna go and do completely raw, uncut. What do you guys think about that? I think we're gonna do the first episode raw and uncut, and just see how it goes. You know what I mean? But for future episodes, I want your guys' opinion. Would you guys prefer me to cut it up, break it down, get to the points, or would you guys prefer a raw, uncut video? And now, if I end up doing like a podcast style in the future, I plan on getting some other individuals onto this type of video, and I want to get some people involved with Topic Tuesday. You know what I mean? But as far as taxes and budgeting go, let's talk about that. So real quick, taxes, it really depends on what you do. For example, if you are a streamer, I live stream and I make money from streaming. We're not allowed to talk about how much I make from streaming, but I make money from streaming. So anything that I buy for my streaming setup, anything at all, I make sure I save the receipts for that, because you get a tax write-off when you buy something for your business. I consider streaming my own business, basically. My Twitch channel, my YouTube, all that stuff, it's a business, really. Even though I don't look at it that way, but when it comes to saving money, you get a little bit more return at the end of the year, or you have to pay less. When you're a Twitch streamer, you end up having to pay out in taxes. But because I work a normal job, a lot of times I just get less back in taxes, because when I file my Twitch stuff, it's just I get a little bit less back because I have to pay taxes on what I made through Twitch. So that being said, taxes, I highly recommend getting an expert to at least teach you how to do taxes. We gotta take my glasses off, chat. I'm saying chat again, Jesus. I highly recommend getting an expert to at the very least kind of show you the ropes when it comes to taxes. But I do know a few little things here and there. Like one huge thing, as I said, is if you're buying something for your business, if you're a Twitch streamer, if you're a YouTuber, it doesn't matter. Even if you stream on Facebook, whatever the case may be, if you make money through streaming or content creation, I don't care if you bought a microphone, I don't care if you bought a mouse, I don't care if you bought a keyboard, this headset, all of this stuff that I purchased, I'm going to get a tax write-off this year. You know what I'm saying? I'm basically going to save money because I purchased these for my profession. You get a tax write-off for that. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? Budgeting. Let's talk about budgeting real quick. First of all, I am terrible at budgeting. I know how to do it. I just don't care about money. I like having stuff. Like, I would rather have nice stuff than a lot of money. That's just how I feel. You know what I mean? But when it comes to budgeting, I think cutting out unnecessary crap that you don't need. Fast food all the time. Don't need it. Cut it out. You know what I mean? Cook at home, just make your meals at home. Even if you have to meal prep, if you're pressed for time, if you have to meal prep, whatever the case may be, don't resort to fast food. A lot of times fast food is expensive, and a lot of people like, I go and I go get some fast food, and I'm buying off the dollar menu. You know what I'm saying? And but the thing that people don't think about is you're buying off the dollar menu, but you're spending money in gas. If you're driving, you're spending money in gas to go get that food. You know what I mean? Then there's a lot of underlying costs behind buying fast food. You know what I mean? Like you could easily go to the store, go to Walmart or wherever wherever you shop, and you can buy a bulk supply of food. And you could be good for a whole month. Boom, you don't even have to leave the house if you're a content creator or you're a streamer. You have no reason to leave the house. You know what I mean? That's saving you money. That's a good way to budget. Buying/renting. I highly recommend when you're looking to buy a house. There's two things you want to look at when you look to buy a house. Number one, is that house worth what you're paying? Okay. You absolutely, now you got to understand, you can look at any house around you and you can find out what that house was bought for and how long ago it was bought for. Like, for example, I know there's 8 houses that surround me right now that have sold within the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Including my house. You know, we purchased our house 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago. It'll be 6 years this year when we purchased our house. And the thing you got to understand is you got to make sure you don't look at a house as a necessity. Look at it as an investment. Sorry, not a necessity. How do I want to I need to phrase this the right way. Look at a house as an investment. That's what I'm going to say, okay? Look at what all the houses around you are selling for. Make sure you're in a neighborhood that you're going to get a good return. So, for example, when my wife and I bought our house was probably the cheapest house in our neighborhood. And I'm talking like we paid a fraction of what anyone in our area has paid. So I'm just going to say it. We paid less than 20 grand for our house. But 5 houses surrounding us have sold for more than $100,000 in the last 5 years. So that right there increases the value of our house. Now, when we bought our house, it was considered uninhabitable. What that means is the floors were like it was a flood and it was a bunch of moisture underneath. So we had to replace all the floor joists. We had to replace the center support beam, which has to be a very thick, very solid, very expensive beam, to support the whole house. We had to replace that. We replaced all the walls, we bought it for less than 20 grand, spent 30 grand, but it's worth over 120 grand now. So when we decide to sell this house, we're going to make close to $100,000 profit. Now and we paid cash for this house. So that right there it's a good investment. You know what I mean? We're going to make our money. We're going to get all of our money back. We're going to get all of our return. And then we're going to make profit on top of that. So you want to make sure if you're purchasing a home, you don't have to buy a forever home as your first home. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's just not an option. So this house is not a good house to raise a family in. This is a good retirement home or a good starter home. It's one of the two. You know what I mean? It's a nice house, but it's not big. It's a 3-bedroom house, So make sure if you buy a house, look at what everything around you has sold for or is selling for, what people are asking. That's something that we were very diligent about. You know what I mean? For example, there's a house that literally right behind us that sold for $212,000. You know what I mean? So that right there, that house selling for that much increases the value of our house. It makes our house more. What do they call it? I don't even remember what they call it, but it basically makes the area, the equity of all the homes go up. You know what I'm saying? So look for that. Make sure you pay attention to what houses are selling for in that area. You know what I mean? When renting, when you're renting, you got to make sure you look at the contract, man. I would highly suggest, and a lot of people don't look that deep. One second. A lot of people don't look that deep. I would highly suggest taking and getting a lawyer just to look over your contract. You know what I mean? You don't want any underlying issues in the contract. Let me give you an example. 18 years old. My wife and I we've been together since I was 17. When I turned 18, we started looking for apartments. We got an apartment. We were told we were allowed dogs, okay? We had a border collie at the time, and we still have that. He's still with us. We still have our border collie. And turns out, after we moved in, we were not allowed to have him at the apartment anymore because he was too big. They only allow small dogs and cats. And I'm like, are you kidding me? We were told that we were allowed to have the, but well, you didn't look at the contract, did you? You didn't thoroughly read the contract, and well, so anyways, that ended up biting us in the butt. So you want to make sure that the landlord of the house, apartment, whatever the case may be, that you are looking into is taking care of everything. You know what I mean? Like, you should not have to pay out of pocket for literally any type of maintenance, any at all. They should be taking care of central air. They should be taking care of the furnace, the stove, the refrigerator, all that stuff, everything. They should be taking care of it all. That's their problem. You know what I mean? Make sure you look over your contract carefully before you sign it. That's one piece of advice I feel like I can't stress enough. Make sure you check your contracts. So, there's a lot of and there's sometimes like when you're renting a house, it's a little bit different. You might have to provide your own washer and dryer, stuff like that, your own stove, refrigerator, etc., etc. You're just renting the house itself. But I would still make sure, like, the water tank, furnace, stuff like that is a part of the house, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, make sure it's taken care of. Make sure it's always good to have an inspection done yourself. You can do that. You can have your own inspector look things over. It might cost you a little bit of money, but at the end of the day, it might save you thousands in the long run, or it might save you a huge headache. So that's something you definitely want to check into, man. And make sure whenever you're purchasing a house, didn't mention that, make sure whenever you're purchasing a house, you get a good inspection done on it. Make sure you get it inspected. Now, luckily for me, my entire family is full of mechanics and contractors. You know what I'm saying? So, like my family owns a chain, not a chain, a construction company. So a lot of that stuff I didn't have to worry about. My dad is very knowledgeable. My dad, he's a man of many talents, I guess you could say, and we knew what we were getting into, and we were willing to put our best foot forward to make this house inhabitable, make it a good solid home, a good foundation for my wife and I to start our family. And now we're looking to finish the house, and we're looking to sell it, and and buy our forever home, so to speak. So yeah. Contracts, look them over. Make sure you get inspections, even if it's like a parent, a father figure, whatever the case may be, that just knows their shit. Make sure you have someone check it out for you if you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Always second guess. Don't let your pride get in the way when you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars here. Don't let your pride get in the way. Oh, I checked it over myself. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Don't do that. Don't be that person, okay? Let's move on. Good first house to get when you're young, that are cheap and affordable, and good ways to look for a job. Oh, good first cars, sorry. Good first cars to get when you're young that are cheap, affordable, and good ways to look for a job. So there are plenty of job, like there's these things called temp services. And that's actually how I got my job. So my job, I started in 2010. And I started in 2010 through a temp service. And there's like jobs, I believe, like, what's it like, is it indeed.com? Let me check real quick. I don't want to provide you guys false information. I believe like there's a bunch of, I haven't been in the job market for a long time. But like you could go to like indeed.com, get somebody to make you up a solid resume, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much experience you have, or if you have no experience, it's like, make sure you're presentable, make sure you have a solid, and rehearsing is great. Make sure you have a solid game plan for an interview. When you're looking for a job. So I recommend going through a temp service. at least if you're just getting started, build a little bit of history. And it's very easy to there's thousands of jobs out, millions of jobs out there, you know what I mean? So it's easy to find a job. You just got to make sure you find the right one. Don't be scared to leave a job that you dislike. Make sure you always leave on good terms. I always recommend that to everyone. Don't just walk out. Don't just walk out the door. Don't be an immature idiot. Don't let, like I said, don't let your pride get in the way. You're an adult now. Do not let your pride get in the way. Pride doesn't make money. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. It's okay to be proud of yourself. It's okay to enjoy yourself and understand your worth, but at the same time, you cannot let your pride get in your way. You know what I mean? So that being said, always leave on good terms. Always leave on good terms. Don't just oh, I'm not gonna go in today. I'm not even gonna bother calling anymore. I'm just gonna fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. Don't do that. Always be professional. There has to be a sense of professionalism in all aspects of life. You know what I mean? So when it comes to work, make sure, it's a job you like. And like I said, if it's a job you don't like, just try to be an understandable individual. You know what I mean? Don't come to them all reckless, talking out your mouth sideways. Don't talk at them like this, okay? Don't talk at them like this. Talk at them with a little bit of sense of professionalism. Hey, I'm not sure if this job is really for me. It's not really what I was looking for. It's not what I was expecting. Do you have any other positions available? Stuff like that. There might, you might be working at a giant facility that might have other options for you. So make sure you approach everything the right way, and this applies to just about any aspect of life. You can't be acting a fool all the time, man. You just can't. So cars that are that are cheap and affordable. Wow. So there's quite a few different cars. You got Honda Civics, you got Hyundais, you got Chevy Cavaliers, Chevy Cobalts. Once again, we're gonna throw it right on back to the pride talk. Do not let your pride get in the way of you getting behind the wheel of a vehicle, man. Like I like to have my seat laid back in my Chevy Impala, so I'm too good for a Chevy Cavalier, okay? I prefer a Ford Raptor instead of a Ford Focus, okay? Pride does not get you anywhere. I'm telling you. Make sure you're not afraid to be seen in a vehicle that might not be the nicest vehicle out on the road, Don't, just because you see YouTubers out here YouTubers are god-awful influencers. I'm just going to say that right now. A lot of YouTubers are terrible. Do not try to live their lives. You know what I mean? Like, they've worked very hard for what they have, but a lot of people have this perception in their head like, wow, I need a Lamborghini. I need a Lamborghini in my life. You know what I mean? You don't need a Lamborghini. You need to get yourself on the road, no matter whether you get a bicycle or a motorcycle, it doesn't matter. Don't let your pride get in the way of a vehicle. There's I work at a steel factory. We have a very nice family vehicle. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here in front. It's a very nice car. It's a Jeep. It's very nice. Very happy with it. But it's not a beater. It's also very nice. But it's a 2005. I have a 2005 Chevy Cobalt. I'm just gonna, you know what, dude? I'm gonna pull up what this Chevy Cobalt looks like. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna find a picture. It's not the 2005. I lied. It's a 2007 Chevy Cobalt. The Chevy Cobalt SS. Let me tell you how much I paid for this bad boy. $1,200. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna show you exactly what it looks like. Give me 1 second. So what we're gonna do, boom, bring that over here. We're gonna, I'm recording in OBS, so this actually makes it very convenient. You know what I mean? Makes it very convenient. So we're just gonna go to my reaction screen. Boom. This is the vehicle I drive back and forth to work every day. The 2007 Chevy Cobalt, nothing special. As you can see, it's not a bad looking car, but I paid $1,200 for it. I got this thing dirt cheap. It's cheap. it's nothing compared to the vehicle I used to have, but I realized I had to stop. Like I was that arrogant idiot that was in the back of my head. I'm just like, God, I have to have the nicest of everything, and you don't. There's plenty of Chevy Cobalts, Chevy Cavaliers, Honda Civics, Honda Accords, Ford Focuses, even some old Ford Fusions, older vehicles. Don't let your pride get in the way, man. And I recommend, Craigslist is a great place to find a decent vehicle, or even going to a car dealership that is willing to work with people with bad credit, because a lot of times it's not that you can't afford a nice vehicle, it's that you don't have the credit to allow you to get that nice vehicle. So if you don't have somebody that's willing to co-sign a loan for you, you might have to, save up some money, if you want to get a nice vehicle that you're going to be happy with for years to come, it's okay to save up a few $1,000s for a down payment on a $15,000 car. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're just worried about getting back and forth to work, that's all you care about. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your car looks like, whatever, do what I did. I literally bought a work vehicle. That's all it's used for. I don't take it anywhere. I literally go to work and come home in that vehicle. That's it. That's all I do. So it cost me $1,200, and that vehicle is already paid for itself, in my opinion. I've had it for 4 months now, and great on gas. I've put gas in it twice in the 4 months that I've had it. It's great on gas. It's a little 5-speed Chevy Cobalt. So like I said, do not let your pride get in the way of your success, because pride will prevent you from being successful. You don't want pride to get in the way, man. I'm telling you guys right now. It's a bad road to go down. It really is. And I've been there, and I can speak on this because I've been there. I've done that. I promise you, pride will prevent you from being successful. My wife and I, let me give you guys a little backstory. And I usually don't talk about my personal life like that, but I feel like I have to right now, because I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from, and understand that there's some weight behind the words that I'm speaking, okay? My wife and I would be in a much better position right now if we didn't make some silly decisions years ago. Now, I will say this, and this is something I've never talked about to anybody aside from a couple of people. Do not make unnecessary purchases, okay? So 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I had a very nice vehicle. It was a 2010 Dodge Ram. Nice truck. It was beautiful. It was all blue. Bone stock. It had dual exhaust on it. That was the only addition I had done to it. And I had rhino lining in the bed. And it's a nice truck though, man. But my wife and I, we were driving down this road, and I just seen it, man. I seen a truck. It was a Dodge Ram, but it was a beautiful truck. It had an 8-inch lift on it. Had 37-inch, Mickey Thompson tires, and it was gorgeous. It was what they call a mega cab, and I just obsessed over it for days on end, man. And I went in there and I test drove it, and I fell in love. And this vehicle was twice the cost of my vehicle that I was driving, which was a very nice vehicle, very reliable, very nice truck. So what happened was, me and my wife, and then she's seen a Jeep that she fell in love with. So literally the same day, we went and we bought this truck and we bought this Jeep. Okay. And it was a mistake. It was honestly a mistake. We let our wants overcome our needs, and we had a really nice, what was called a Chevy Sonic at the time. Great on gas, got like 36 miles to a gallon, and it was paid off. It was a few months away from being paid off. And then we had that blue Dodge Ram, and it was 2 years away from being paid off. So basically, we would have been 100% debt free if it weren't for that one silly mistake. We let our wants outweigh our needs, and we made a stupid decision to drop damn near $100,000 in one day. $100,000 is what we spent that day on 2 vehicles. Like, it was a silly mistake. Now we've recouped. We've grown past that. We understand the silly mistake that we made, but it was a mistake that was easily avoidable. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. I should not have been obsessing over that truck because I don't miss it. I don't miss that truck. But I'll tell you the truck I do miss. I do miss that blue truck. Blue truck was beautiful, man, and it was mine. Everything that was done to it was done by me. You know, it was a little bit personalized. You know what I mean? This other truck someone else built, and I bought it like that. You know what I mean? So don't let your pride get in the way, man. Don't let your wants outweigh your needs. Understand what you need. What you need to succeed. Vehicle, don't let your pride get in the way of a vehicle. Don't let your pride get in the way of a job. No job will pay no bills. You know what I'm saying? So don't let your pride outweigh your needs. Once again, don't let your pride outweigh your needs. Don't let your want outweigh your needs, you know? Focus on what you need to survive and what you need to strive towards success. You know what I mean? Wow. Just realized we've been going for almost 30 minutes, chat. I'm saying chat as if I'm talking to a live stream right now. What am I doing, huh? What am I doing, huh? Anyways, Towers, once again, thank you so much. I don't know. Let me know if you guys would like to see, you know, the full shindig, or if you want me to cut it up, because I feel like I kind of rambled a little bit. I feel like some stuff could be cut out, but I want to leave it like this. I want to leave it a full 30-minute episode. If we could keep it to less than 30 minutes each week, unless it's like a podcast style that I'd end up doing with somebody. You know, I would like to try to get, you know, Big E is someone I look up to a lot. I would like to get him on a Topic Tuesday one of these days, and I'm sure he'd be willing to do it. So that being said, thank you guys so much. If you guys could do me a huge favor in the comments, please feel free to leave another suggestion for Topic Tuesday, because Topic Tuesday is all about interaction. It's all about interacting with what you guys would like advice on. Let me know what you guys think. Did I do a good job? Am I explaining things good enough, or could I go in depth a little more? Like, am I over explaining? You know what I mean? Let me know, please. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys made it this far into the video, please, could I get a let me get an X3 in the chat. Let me get X3, triple X. Boom, triple X. Why triple X, Ryan, you idiot? Get Ryan. Let me get Ryan. You're an idiot in the chat if you made it this far. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much. It means a lot. If you did enjoy, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. And once again, drop those suggestions in the chat as well. If you guys would like, you could also tweet them at me. I have no problem with that. What I will do is I will always screenshot at the beginning, show you guys who the suggestion is from, give them a quick shout out. Once again, feel free to follow my man Sour. He's a great dude. Great kid. I call him a kid, but he's 20 years old, okay? Anyways, have a fantastic evening. Thank you guys once again. Appreciate y'all. I will talk to you guys later. And I'm out of here.